Hi, my name is Miss Amy. I'm one of the children's librarians here at Monroe County Public Library, and I am so happy and so excited that you decided to join today for our Twas the Night Before Christmas story time. So we're going to be doing a lot of songs, a lot of movement, a lot of stretching, a lot of fun, cool, silly things. So hopefully you'll have a little bit of fun, and hopefully I wear you out a little bit before the end of this program to make sleeping a little bit easier tonight, because we all have to go to bed at a reasonable hour to make sure Santa Claus can make his way to our house. But while we do all the silliness, we're going to read two books as well. So Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer by Robert L. May and illustrated by David Wenzel. So this is one of my favorite Christmas books. I remember reading this when I was a lot shorter and a lot smaller, probably around your age. And then we'll read The Night Before Christmas by Clement C. and this version is illustrated by Antonio Javier Caparo. So before we read any of our stories, I'm kind of feeling antsy. I drank too much hot cocoa before this. So we're going to do an action song. So we're going to get our stretches going. Ooh. But we got to sing a little bit as well as move. So we got to warm up our vocal cords a little bit. So can you do some... We'll start with a ho ho ho, and we'll just do some weird animal sounds to kind of get us warmed up. You ready? Ho ho ho! Give me your deepest ho 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 in. Ready? Ho ho ho! And even hold your belly and act like you got a big Santa. Ho ho ho! All right. We'll do a. Don't know what that was. Sorry, I drank like 3 cups of hot chocolate before this, and lots of marshmallows on top of that. So, we'll try. I think we're sufficiently warmed up our vocals cords, as much at least I'm gonna get them. So, this tune, it's to the tune of "We Wish You a Merry Christmas," but we're gonna do it with a little twist. So, if you screw up, it's completely fine. This is probably a brand new song to a lot of you. And again, be forgiving. This is a new song, probably for you. So be easy. This is about happy. We're happy. And sugared up a little bit, probably. Okay, you ready? Let's all do a little clapping. Let's all do a little clapping. Let's all do a little clapping and spread Christmas cheer. Let's all do a little stretching. Let's all do a little stretching. Let's all do a little stretching and spread Christmas cheer. Let's all do a little spinning. Let's all do a little spinning. Let's all do a little spinning to spread Christmas cheer. Woo! Oh, woo. Okay. We'll do one more. You ready? We'll all do a little jumping. We'll all do a little jumping. We'll all do a little jumping to spread Christmas cheer. Now that I've gotten you a little amped up. So Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And we're going to read together. 'Twas the day before Christmas, and all through the hills the reindeer were playing, enjoying their spills, while every so often they stopped to call names at one little reindeer not allowed in their games. Ha ha! Look at Rudolph! His nose is a sight. It's red as a beet and twice as big and twice as bright. While Rudolph just cried. What else could he do? He knew the things they were saying were true. Where most reindeers' noses were brownish and tiny, poor Rudolph's was red, very large and quite shiny. In daylight it sparkled, the picture shows that. At nighttime it glowed like the eyes of a cat. What one is Rudolph? Can you find him? He's this one right here, with the right shiny nose. Aw, and he has a little tear coming out of his eye. It's sad. It's not nice to be a bully. I think these reindeer are mean. Although he was lonesome, he always was good, obeying his parents as good reindeer should. That's why on this day Rudolph almost felt playful. He hoped that from Santa soon driving his sleigh full of presents and candies and dollies and toys for good little animals, good girls and boys. He just as much, and this is what pleased him, as the happier, handsomer reindeer who teased him. So as night and a fog hid the world like a hood, he went to bed hopeful. He knew he'd been good. And look what he has. He has some cookies and hot cocoa out. And this is still, in my 33 years, the most comfy looking bed ever. Like over plush comforter, super big comfy pillow. Rudolph has it going on in there. While way up north on this same foggy night, old Santa was packing his sleigh for its flight. "This fog," he called out, "will be hard to get through." He shook his round head, and his tummy shook too. "Without any stars or moon as our compass, this extra dark night is quite likely to swamp us. To keep from a mash-up or smash-up, we'll have to fly slow. To see where we're going, we'll have to fly low. We'll steer by the street lamps and houses tonight, in order to finish before it gets light. Just think of the boys' and girls' hopes would be shaken if we didn't reach them before they'd waken." I want this vehicle. I want that. "Come Dasher, come Dancer, come Prancer and Vixen, come Comet, come Cupid, come Donner, come Blitzen. Be quick with your suppers, get hitched in a hurry, you too will find a fog, a delay and a worry." How many reindeer are on this page, by the way? You want to count them with me real quick? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And out of all the reindeer, this one, if you look at his face, I don't know, it's probably just me, but he looks like more shocked and surprised out of all the reindeer. Maybe this one. And Santa was right, as he usually is. The fog was as thick as soda's white fizz. He tangled in treetops again and again, and barely missed hitting a huge speeding plane. Just not getting lost needed all Santa's skill, with street signs and numbers more difficult still. He still made good speed, with much twisting and turning, as long as the street lamps and house lights were burning. At each house, first checking what people might live there, he quickly picked out the right presents to give there. "But lights will be out after midnight," he said, "for even most parents have then gone to bed." Because it might wake them, a match was denied him. Oh my, how he wished for just one star to guide him. Through dark streets and houses old Santa did poorly. He now picked the presents more slowly, less surely. He really was worried, for what would he do if folks started waking before he went through? Santa needs some headlights. The night was still foggy and not at all clear when Santa arrived at the home of the deer. Onto the roof with the clouds all around it, he searched for the chimney and finally found it. The room he came down in was blacker than ink. He went for a chair, but it turned out a sink. The first reindeer bedroom was so very black, he tripped on the rug and burst open his pack. So dark that he had to move close to the bed and peek very hard at the sleeping deer's head. Before he could choose the right kind of toy, a doll for a girl or a train for a boy. Or, it could be either or. It doesn't have to be. That line I don't like necessarily. It could be whatever. But all this took time and filled Santa with gloom, while feeling his way toward the next reindeer's room. The door he just opened when, to his surprise, a soft, glowing red-colored light met his eyes. The lamp wasn't burning, the light came instead from something that lay at the head of the bed. And there lay, but wait now, what would you suppose? The glowing, you guessed it, it was Rudolph's red nose. So this room was easy, this one little light let Santa pick quickly the gifts that were right. See, look at this. This bed, I'm telling you, it is the bomb. He looks so cozy. How happy he was till he went out the door. The rest of the house was as black as before, so black that it made every step a dark mystery. And then came the greatest idea in all of history. He went back to Rudolph and started to shake him, of course very gently, in order to wake him. And Rudolph could hardly believe his own eyes. You can just imagine his joy and surprise at seeing who stood there a paw's length away, and told of the darkness and fog and delay, and Santa's great worry that children might waken before his complete Christmas trip had been taken.
And you, he told Rudolph, may yet save the day. Your bright shining nose, son, can show us the way. I need you, young fellow, to help me tonight, to lead all my dear of the rest of the night of the flight. And Rudolph broke out into such a big grin, and almost connected from his ears to his chin. He scribbled a note to his folks in a hurry. I'm going to help Santa, don't you worry. Said Santa, meet me and my sleigh at the lawn. You stick in the chimney, and flash, he was gone. So Rudolph pranced out through the door, very gay, and he took his proud place at the head of the sleigh. That is a lot of snow. A lot of snow. The rest of the night, well, what would you guess? Old Santa's idea was brilliant success. And brilliant was almost no word for the way that Rudolph directed the deer in the sleigh. In spite of the fog, they flew quickly and low, and made such good use of the wonderful glow that shone out of Rudolph at each intersection that not even once did they lose their direction. At all the houses and streets with a sign on 'em, the sleigh flew real low so Rudolph could shine on 'em. To tell who lived where and just what to give whom, they'd stop by each window and peek in the room. Old Santa knew always which children were good, and minded their parents and ate as they should. So Santa would pick out the gift that was right, with Rudolph close by making just enough light. It all went so fast that before it was day, the very last present was given away, and the very last stocking was filled to the top, just as the sun was preparing to pop. Ooh, Kitty's awake. The sun woke the reindeer in Rudolph's hometown. They found the short message that he'd written down, then gathered outside to await his return, and where they surprised and excited to learn that Rudolph, the ugliest deer of them all, Rudolph the red-nosed, bashful and small, the funny-faced fellow they always called names and practically never allowed in their games, was now to be envied by all, far and near, for no greater honor can come to a deer than riding with Santa and guiding his sleigh, the number one job on the number one day. The sleigh and its reindeer soon came into view, and Rudolph still led them as downward they flew. Oh my, he was proud as they came to a landing right where his handsomer playmates were standing. The same deer who used to do nothing but tease him would now have done anything only to please him. They felt even sorrier than they had been bad when Santa said, Rudolph, I've never had a deer quite so brave and so brilliant as you at fighting black fog and at steering me through. But you last night's journey was actually boasted. Without you, I'm certain we'd all have been lost. I hope you'll continue to keep us from grief on future dark trips as Commander-in-Chief. While Rudolph just blushed from head to his toes, till all his fur was red right as his nose. The crowd clapped their paws, then started to screech, Hooray for our Rudolph, we won a speech! But Rudolph, still bashful despite being a hero, was tired, his sleep on the trip totaled 0. So that's why his speech was quite short and not bright. Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Yay! And that's why, whenever it's foggy and gray, it's Rudolph the red-nosed who guides Santa's sleigh. But listening this Christmas, don't make a peep, 'cause that late at night children should sleep. The very first sound that you'll hear on the roof, that's it. If there's fog, will be Rudolph's small hoof. And soon after that, if you're still as a mouse, you may hear a swish as he flies around the house and shines enough light to give Santa a view of you in your room. And when you're all through, you may hear them call as they drive out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. 'Twas the night before Christmas when all through the house not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse. That's very cozy. The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there. How many stockings are there? Can we count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't forget the dog and the cat. Dog and the cat deserve stockings too. Need some hot, looks like milk and chocolate chip cookies of some sort. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mamma in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled our brains for a long winter's nap. When out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter. Away to the window I flew like a flash, tore open the shutters, and threw up the sash. The moon on the breast of the new fallen snow gave a luster of midday to objects below. Very. I like this. Did any of you decorate your house with lights? I didn't have time. When what to my wondering eyes did appear but a miniature sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer. Oh my goodness. Do you see Santa? He's right there. Even the dog's excited. With a little old driver so lively and quick, I knew in a moment he must be St. Nick. More rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. You ready? No Dasher, no Dancer, no Prancer and Vixen, oh Comet, oh Cupid, oh Donner, and Blitzen. You probably do a better job than I did, but 8 reindeer, I think. Ready? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 in this one. Unless I messed up somewhere. Oh, I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thank you for pointing that out. To the top of the porch, to the top of the wall. Now dash away, dash away, dash away. Oh! As leaves that before the wild hurricane fly, when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with the sleigh full of toys, and St. Nicholas too. And then in a twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof. As I drew in my head and was turning around, down the chimney St. Nicholas came with a bound. He was dressed all in fur from head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot. Uh-oh, that's a mess. A bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his pack. His eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were rosy, his nose like a cherry. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the beard on his chin was as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe he held tight in his teeth, and the smoke circled his head like a wreath. And he had a broad face, a little round belly, that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. Oh, the kitty is drinking Santa's milk, but Santa's fine. He's eating his cookies. He spoke not a word, but went straight to his work, and filled all the stockings, then turned with a jerk. And laying his finger aside of his nose, he gave a nod. Up the chimney he rose. That'd be kind of a cool superpower. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle, and away they all flew, like the down of a thistle. but I heard him exclaim ere he drove out of sight, "Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night."
I think we're prepared, and I hope you had a great time and I didn't frighten you away too much. And again, I'm super happy that you joined me for this special story time, and I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.